What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and a stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us down below. I got some shocking news I want to go over here. Couple different things here. First, I want to talk about a massive raise that Congress got. And I want to give you the real details here because there's a lot of details going on around about this. And you guys come to me for the truth. So I want to give you guys the details and I'll show you the details here in black and white. There's a lot of details going on around about this. There was details going on around about this previously. And a lot of people just don't really have the information quite correct. So let me show you guys this here directly on the screen, just so everybody has this correct. All right, just so we're all, getting this right. Okay, first up, as you can see here, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announces $45,000 minimum salary for House of Representative staffers. Okay, this is to now match the Senate, some of the Senate wages. Okay, and first of all, we have to address that this is not for elected officials. This is not for elected officials. This is for staffers. This is for average, everyday people. You watching this could go get a job at the House of Representatives or the Senate as a staffer. Okay. This is not for elected individuals. This is not for like Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell or, Senator Joe Manchin or anybody like that. Okay. Not for elected officials. That's what you have to first of all realize. Okay, this is for regular people that work there that are feeding their families and stuff. Okay. Second of all, this is $45,000 is less than the. I'll show you here. Average salary here in the United States. You can see here, according to the latest data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual mean wage for full-time wage or salary workers in the United States now is $53,490 a year. So basically, $53,500 a year, or $1,000 a week, $1,028 a week for a 40-hour week is the average salary per year, or average mean wage per year. Okay, so just to kind of give you guys an idea, a lot of people kind of don't realize this now here in 2022. Remember, wages go up every year, and that's why typically an average job, even a job at the House of Representatives or a job at the Senate, typically has a wage increase every year. Okay, I know that people get upset when they hear about this at the House of Representatives or the Senate or anything like this, but this is kind of a normal thing. If you work at a normal job, you typically get a raise every year. The average salary in the US is $53,490 according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. You can see it here in black and white. This is, non-biased information here. So Nancy Pelosi has raised the minimum salary for House staffers, again, non-elected officials. And she did this to match the salaries over to the Senate. Okay, here's the details. Yeah, so Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and by the way, this is for Democrat and Republican staffers. Okay, it's not just for like Nancy Pelosi staffers or anything like that. This is where there's a lot of misinformation here. It's not for elected officials. Announced that the House will now require staffers to get paid a minimum salary of $45,000. These are for regular people. You can go and apply there if you wanted to. These are regular people job, not elected officials. I'm pleased to announce that pursuant to statutory authority of the Speaker in U.S. 450 4532, the House will, for the first time ever, set the minimum annual pay for a staffer at $45,000. Before this, House lawmakers will have until September 1st to enact this new salary change. They can make up to $203,000 to match the Senate. Okay, whether any staffers actually make that is unbeknownst to me. Pelosi said that a 21% raise in members' representative allowance in March will more than cover this pay adjustment. Quote, with a competitive minimum salary, the House will be better able to retain and recruit excellent, diverse talent. Doing so will open the door to public service for those who may not be able to afford to do so in the past. This is an issue of fairness, as many of the youngest staffers working the longest hours often earn the lowest salaries. Previously, there was no salary floor in Congress, with some of the staffers being paid as low as $30,000. Remember that the average salary in the US is $53,500. Okay. And you would think if you're working at the US House of Representatives or the Senate, you probably should be making more than the average in the US. It's just kind of, I mean, you would think it's a prestigious job, right? I'm just kind of, you know, spitballing here, but you would think if you work at the White House, if you work at the House of Representatives, you work at the Senate, you probably should be making more than the average. Just kind of spitballing here, right? But yeah, I just want to clear this air here, that it is not for Nancy Pelosi. It's not for. There's way too many. I've seen way too many comments, and I looked into this. People think that Nancy Pelosi's getting a 21% raise. People think that Democrats are getting a 21% raise. I don't know where this misinformation is coming from, but it's for staff. It's for regular people. You can go and apply as a staff member, which is just a regular person's job. It's like you working at the library. It's like you working at your local town hall as a government employee. Okay. It's supposed to be a good job. You know, of course, if you work there at the beginning, you're probably going to make the minimum salary, you know, when you first start off. So you're probably going to make 45,000. Sounds a lot to a lot of people, but remember nowadays, the average salary in the US is $53,500. So just kind of keep that stuff in mind when you're doing this. I've had so many comments here over the last 24 hours that Congress just got a 21% raise. That is not really true, because Congress is the elected officials, the House and the Senate, and it's for the staffers. Okay, it's the staffers are not elected officials. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that in black and white, directly from the Hill. They're non-biased. They're not Democrat. They're not Republicans, and so wanted to clear that up. Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And remember, if you work at a normal job, typically you get a raise every year. They're actually just raising kind of the floor of that. You know, I'm sure there's some annual raises built in there as well. If you work at a normal job, I'm sure you get an annual raise as well. Just like Social Security got a 5.9% raise from last year. And honestly, Social Security, I'll kind of show you this. Social Security had the 5.9% raise last year, or at the beginning of this year, but based on last year's inflation, they're probably going to have larger raise this year. Okay, and it's probably going to be one of the largest raises ever. Remember that in March, The current inflation rate was 8.5%. The April numbers are not in yet. We should have them coming here maybe in the next week or so. I'll keep you up to date on that. But based on the current inflation rate, we could have the largest Social Security benefit increase in over 40 years. In over 40 years. Now, this could mean that we could be on pace to have an 8 or 9% Social Security raise coming here for the next one, which would be, like I said, one of the largest ever. One of the largest ever. So, for example, if we had a 9% Social Security cost of living adjustment raise, and you make $1,000 a month just for a nice round number, and you got a 9% raise, that would be $90 extra per month. $90 extra per month. That's about, break out my calculator here. That's over $1,000 extra per year. That's 1,080 per year, every single year going forward. An extra almost $100 a month every month. Okay, just from this one cost of living adjustment. Okay, so yeah, and remember that last year was a pretty big cost of living adjustment here as well. And also we have a lot of different bills like the Social Security 2100 Act, where Representative John Larson, Democrat, just tweeted here a few days ago. It is time for Congress to improve and protect Social Security. I'm fighting for the Social Security 2100 Act, a sacred trust, because we must ensure beneficiaries get the fair benefits they earn. The Social Security 2100 Act would increase Social Security payouts to 125% of the federal poverty line. You can see here, Congress has a new plan to fix Social Security and how it would change benefits. A House Democrat proposal to reform Social Security is being reintroduced into Congress. A new version of the bill called Social Security 2100 Act, a sacred trust, has changes aimed at drawing support from President Joe Biden and from Republicans. That would be interesting if they could get Republican support. The reintroduction follows the Social Security Administration's latest estimate that the trust funds that support the program that would be depleted in just 13 years. But this new version of the Social Security 2100 Act, as you can see here, it's got a lot that's attractive and nothing that I think should cause Democrats problem in an election year, says Nancy Altman, president of Social Security Works, an advocacy group that promotes expanding benefits. Like President Biden's plan, the Social Security 2100 Act would set a higher minimum benefit for lower income workers. Benefits would be at 125% of the poverty line and tied to current wage levels, which would mean that it would probably increase with inflation. Increase with inflation as well, which is basically like an annual wage boost, like the House of Representatives and the Senate are getting, like people get with their job increases and COLA raises as well, which is very important. Very important. There's also a benefit boost for both new and existing beneficiaries amounting to about 2% of the average benefit as well. Annual cost of living adjustments would be tied to the consumer price index for the elderly, which is actually better than just the normal CPI. It better reflects costs for the elderly, which is a good thing. Biden also included this in this change in the Social Security proposals. The Social Security 2100 Act that was previously proposed in 2019, back when Republicans were in control, now Democrats are in control. So that's why it's being reintroduced, had more than 200 co-sponsors, though all were Democrats. That's why I'm not sure if any Republicans will vote for it, but getting Republicans to vote for it would be very important. I'm not sure why there's no Republicans that want to raise benefits for Social Security recipients. Um, you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. One of the ways they'll pay for this, the legislation does call for increasing Social Security taxes by higher wage earners. In 2021, those taxes were capped at $142,800. And in 2022, that rises to $147,000. That means that people in 2022 no longer pay income taxes on Social Security over earnings of $147,000. Okay. This proposal makes them restart Social Security taxes on earnings over $400,000, and they will continue paying Social Security taxes on all earnings over that amount. They won't get any benefits for it because they're already at the maximum amount they can earn for Social Security income for that year. And then it just goes into the pot for everybody else, which is also in line in what President Biden has proposed. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. It would be really nice to have some Republican support on this. I mean, when we think about inflation, a lot of Republicans talk about inflation, but we have to have solutions for the people. And right now there's no support for this. There is some Republican support for the child tax credits, but right now that has not been passed, and we know that studies show that millions of children have fallen back into poverty, and every month that goes by without those checks going out, um, it's hurting millions of children. Okay, so the problem with that, and Joe Manchin has a lot to blame here as well. He's considered a Democrat. I just did a video on him where he's caught in this scandal where the New York Times is exposing him, where he's apparently making millions of dollars on a coal mine and potentially abusing his congressional power. So again, I'm not really from either party, Democrat or Republican, but the question here is what are these two parties going to do to help the people? Help the people. So yeah, let me know your thoughts here in the comments. We got a lot going on here, and I will keep you up to date here. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click this top video here to watch my newest video next. This bottom video here is my newest stimulus check update. A lot of good information there. And this video up here is that scandalous video about Senator Joe Manchin. Make sure to click one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.